Okay, this video is going to be different than most of mine. I've been spending a lot of time working on a different YouTube channel. However, I did promise a second part of my 10 spell cleric guide, so I'm going to come through with that. This video, we're going to be covering magical healing, buying a kit for 10 spell. We're going to talk about line of sight and team compositions. So for magical healing, it works in the same way that many things in this game work, such as like spells for wizards, their damage, also physical damage bonus, the same way that that works for bows, bardishas, whatever it is that you're using, and that is your will here. Magical power bonus, right? I'm at 19% magical power bonus. I don't have any additional will on this base kit. But what that means is whatever spell that I use is going to be 19% stronger, assuming that there's 100% scaling on it. So if we look at lesser heal here, it's got 100% scaling on it. And then you've got advanced healer, so +5 magical healing, right? So if we look at lesser heal, you've got 15 base with 100% scaling. So if you take 15 times 0.2, which is where we're at right now, then we get an extra 3. And you add 5, so 8. So 15 plus 8. Right now, my lesser heal is going to be doing is going to be a 23 heal. So if you take a larger spell, like where is it at? Holy Light. If we take Holy Light, this is a larger spell, 25 heal base instead of 15. Okay, so 25 times 0.2. Now we're going to get 5 out of it. So that means that we're going to end up with a our Holy Light base kit right now is going to be 35. Both of those have 100% scaling, but Sanctuary does not. Sanctuary has 0.5. So Sanctuary, I'm pretty sure it's 5 healing per tick, and then I believe it's 5 ticks with 0.5% scaling, 50% scaling. Yeah. So this is going to, this is base kit. This is a 20, this heals for 25, but it's AoE. Now, the problem here, feel free to comment below. I don't know if the game rounds up or down, okay? But so we have a very low number, 5. So even if we got up to an absurd number like 50%, like 50% scaling or 50% magical power bonus. So times, but I'm pretty sure it would be 0.5% scaling. So if you had 50% magical power bonus, then we would take 5 and you would do 50%, but instead we're going to do 0.25. So you're only getting an extra 1 heal out of this. So it's much better for magical healing. Like magical power bonus doesn't do much for Sanctuary. It does a lot for Holy Light. And it's the same thing for this. This is the same reason why rogues are using true damage, because their daggers only do like 27, to 28 damage at most on their daggers. So if you have 50% physical power bonus, which you would have to be stacking a shitload of strength on rogue to hit that number, you're only getting like 12 damage or some shit like that. It's not worth that investment. You're much better off building HP and movement speed and just getting true damage on everything. Well, it works the same way with spells. So Holy Light does 25. Fireball from Wizard does a pretty good amount of damage as well. So having a good bit of magical power, a percentage of magical power, will benefit your Fireball. But it doesn't really do anything for Zap, because Zap is only 15 base damage. So if you have 50% magical power bonus on Wizard and you zap someone, well, you're only getting 7 damage out of 50% will. And you probably spend a lot of money to get to that point. So it's just better at that point to build like HP, movement speed, something else, and then you just get true magical damage or additional magical damage on everything. Anyway, Sanctuary, the way that it works, if you have 10 magical healing in your kit, then because of that 50% reduction, then you're actually just going to get 5 magical healing added, which is huge because this is going to tick 5 times. So let's see, if it was proccing 10 times, wait, hold on. If your Sanctuary does 5 heals and it procs 5 times, okay? 5 healing, procs 5 times, so you got 25. It would be double that if you added 5 more magical healing, so you'd be hitting 50. Yeah, not that complicated. I don't know if this number rounds up or down. So if you end up with like 5.5 additional magical healing, well, is that going to be 6 health or is that going to be 5 health? I don't know. So if anyone does know that answer, please comment below. Okay. Buying a kit for Cleric. Right now, this is my arena kit. Okay, you're looking at low boots, demon clad. Beautiful. Okay, this is my kit for arena. It's not as good as I would like for it to be, but I haven't really been playing. I haven't been playing very much Cleric since they made that change where you can find legendaries much more frequently. But anyway, right now we've got +3, 6. Is this not the right chest piece? This is the chest piece. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I think just 15 magical healing. Plus, my arena kits right now is +15 magical healing. I could definitely get more if I could luck out and find some wisdom rings with magical healing on them. I also don't have any health on the Phoenix Choker. That would be really nice. Right now, the problems with this kit is I need an upgraded. I've decided to run Ruby Silver Cuirass. Okay, I rolled a ton of Ruby Silver. I only got 1 with magical healing on it, and it's pretty nice. It actually rolled 3 magical healing. But since this piece doesn't have knowledge on it, it really sucks. I'm using Demon Grip Gloves and Demon Clad Leggings. And neither of these come base with knowledge either. This one I lucked out and I got 2 knowledge on it. This one I have 1 knowledge and some spellcast speed. But if you are going to run a Ruby Silver Cuirass, you need to make sure that you have as much knowledge as possible on everything else. Because as I mentioned in my last video, you really want to hit 75% spellcast speed. And with this kit on right now, I'm at 62.9%. Which actually does make a pretty decent difference. Like you can definitely feel the difference. So if I were to luck out and find like a really good owl pendant with magical healing on it, or if I could find a better great helm, better radiant cloak, better rings, especially like epic or legendary rings with magical healing on it, that would benefit me greatly. So anyway, that's what we've got as far as the arena kit right now. Of course, for arena kit, always get the Lightbringer. Whenever you're crafting these things, I've got a video on how to make sure that you're hitting the high roll of everything. See how the action speed is 4% on this, magical healing is 3% on this when it could have been 2. There's a trick to making sure that you always hit that high roll every time. I've got a video on it, one of my most recent videos posted. It's only like a minute long. Go and watch that. Before I knew that information, I rolled these demon clad leggings, so I only have 2 magical healing on these, and I've got like really good rolls on the rest of it, and it sucks because I've only got 2 magical healing here when I could have had 3. So anyway, we're gonna look at buying a kit. Okay. So first of all, you'd want some low boots. And why not look at legendary? Everything's so cheap right now. Move speed bonus is just going to be cheaper. And probably we want max health and we want will on this. They're actually like decently expensive. I don't know how much money I would want to spend on this. I'm not actually going to buy this. I'm just going to put it in the calculator and see how much I was going to spend, because I haven't been playing Cleric as much lately. Something to notice here. Your magical damage bonus, this pair of boots right here gives you 1.6% magical damage bonus. That scales your healing as well. So magical damage bonus, just replace that with magical power. It's basically the same thing. So it's 1.6% magical power. So it's going to scale your healing the exact same way. Okay, let's I probably wouldn't spend this amount of gold just on boots. Let's just take off will and see what we got. 1.4. Let's go down to epic. It'll be all right. Yeah, exactly. Here we go. Let's add will back in and see if this is still cheap. That's really good, but I wouldn't buy it. Not when this is pretty much the same thing and it's really good. All right, so I would buy these boots, 888. Demon clad leggings. Most important thing on these is you want to get your 2 knowledge and you want your max HP. 2 knowledge for max HP. Yeah, these are going to be expensive, but it is what it is. So you kind of just have to bite the... Oh, but look, this only has 2 magical healing on it. That sucks. Yeah, see, these people don't know the tricks, dude. Yeah, wouldn't buy these. Wouldn't spend that much money. I mean, you can spend 3K on this, but yeah. Static attribute. Let's make sure we're getting the 3 magical healing. Here we go. All right, this is what I would buy. 800 gold. And this is the thing that kind of sucks about playing this playstyle, is just that there's so many stat thresholds that you have to hit. But it's also very, very strong. All right, we need 3 magical healing, 2 knowledge. Boom, right there. 1500 gold. It's the cheapest one. So that's probably what I would buy. Yep. Now, it's really up to you, but you can be a little slower and go for PDR with your Ruby Silver Cuirass. But if you're going to go Ruby Silver Cuirass, first of all, you want knowledge on no matter what you get, your chess piece, you need to have some knowledge on it. And the most important thing is that you're getting 3 magical healing. Boom, right there, 2,400 gold. So, we'll just say that we're gonna get this, but we'll check out the other chess piece as well. +2. Was that 2,444? Yeah. But let's go look at the, what is it called? Crusader Armor? Yeah, let's check out Crusader Armor as well. I would probably want at least an epic. 3 magical healing. Now the best thing for you is going to be plus max health and will and magical healing. That's probably what I would be looking for here. Or vigor, any combination of all of that. So you could get this for 666 gold. And that's, oh, dude, that's honestly pretty good. It doesn't have health on it, but it just comes down to how much money you really want to spend. You can get cheaper things if you want. And also, if you go for Crusader Armor, then it's less important to get the knowledge on your demon clad leggings and your demon grip gloves. Then you can kind of skip out on that. But if you are going for the ruby silver chess piece, then you absolutely have to get additional knowledge rolls on everything that you can. But if you want to go for Crusader, then I mean, this is a pretty cheap option, 666 gold. If you wanted to add the max health in, which I definitely recommend, but costs a lot. Yeah, there you go. You more than doubled your price. But, I mean, you get health on everything. You stand a lot better chance of living, so it is what it is. Great helm. These are usually very cheap. Let's go max health, will, and we'll go true magical damage too. Usually pretty cheap, I say. But I mean, that's BIS right there pretty much. Let's see if legendaries are actually cheaper. No. Let's just take off. We'll take off the damage and see what we got. Yeah, there you go. 700 gold. Not bad. Not bad at all. And then this is also 1 additional magic damage, so that is definitely, and magical damage bonus, 100%. That's what I would be buying. So I'll add the 700, but then I'll just see if there's a decent epic one. Yeah, there you go. 1 additional 288 gold. Boom. Super cheap. So not everything, fortunately not everything is super expensive, but okay, now we're gonna look at an owl pendant. Epic is fine. You definitely want max health and you want magical healing, and we need 3 magical healing. Not bad at all. That's probably what I would get. 750 gold. 1 additional is fine because you're always getting pushed by somebody else. And it doesn't matter where you shift these stats around, as long as you're hitting the stats that you need. Okay, so now we would need Rings of Wisdom. I'm going to take off the max health because it's going to make them way more expensive. 570 is the cheapest one. Honestly, not bad. So I'm just gonna add 2 or 570 plus 570 plus 570. Which, you know, obviously, if you really want to, you can make these much cheaper. Yeah, you can get a cheap version of this for 200 gold. As long as you have the appropriate amount of spell cap, and as long as you're as close to 75% as you can be, then do that. You can also like shift some things around. Like, say you already had enough knowledge, then you can shift this over to like I don't know, anything. If, say you just wanted to be faster, then we can do Ring of Quickness. Let's see if these are cheaper or more expensive. A little bit more expensive. Ring of Vitality, those are all gone. Dexterity is actually a pretty solid stat for Cleric because it takes them so long to... Their attack speed is so slow, and your action speed also ties into how fast you can rebound from a block. So what sucks about blocking with Cleric is that your attack speed is so slow that you'll land a block and you don't really even have time to counter attack without getting punished for it. So the more dexterity you have, the better you're going to be at whenever someone's in your face. So yeah, these are a little bit cheaper. Roughly the same price, but your Rings of Wisdom with magical healing are always going to be the most expensive. Okay, so what's next? We got the rings. Oh, spellbook. No. Cloak. Radiant cloak. I mean, honestly, at this point, if you're building a kit, it's a little different if you're just finding gear for your arena kit. But if you're building a kit, like, you can hit your knowledge threshold so quickly. Especially with legendaries as cheap as they are right now. Like, this is absolutely absurd. If all you cared about was just hitting that knowledge threshold, boom, 177 gold. Now you can make those other pieces cheaper by not requiring you to get like demon clad leggings with knowledge on them. You can just do other things like this, and that's fine. If I wanted this to be like as good as possible, then I would probably put max health, probably magical power. That's going to help your heals. And then we'll do spell casting speed, and we'll do like true magical damage because you are occasionally casting spells. This is probably like the most bis cloak I can think of. Let's see if one even exists. Yeah, it doesn't even exist. We'll take off the true magical because I think all the rest of this is probably more important. If you've already made it this far, then your spellcasting speed's probably fine. You could take that off, but that doesn't exist either. How about this one? Bro, where are they at? The wizards are buying them all up, dude. Okay, yeah, there you go. 1 magical power, 2 HP, and you just fucking like 20x'd your fucking price. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's not ridiculous. What's ridiculous is that a legendary costs 177. So, depending on how much money you want to spend, I'm probably just buying this cheap one. And then spellbook. Your role is not. You're a support first. You're a damage dealer and a frontliner like second. So you're only frontlining if you absolutely have to buy space. If someone else is gonna die, you're just buying space for that person. But yeah, you can go legendary. You get the 7 magical damage, which is really good, but it's not too terrible based off of how much money you need to spend. Like, you can even go down to a rare and it's not a big deal. So 588 for a legendary with 3 magical healing. Rare. $267. So It's honestly not bad. The best stats for this, you have to have magical healing. I would say you want magical power, and then some health too goes a long way with cleric. You're gonna be eating arrows. You're gonna be eating all kinds of stuff. So yeah, this isn't terrible. And magical damage bonus. That makes your that I mean that right there makes your heals almost 6% stronger just from that magical damage bonus. It's huge. 1800 gold. So that was like 177 for the cloak, and then 18 for this. So you're looking at spending a good bit of money. Like you can definitely do some things with this to get this price down, but I would say even like a cheap 10 spell kit is probably still going to cost you like 6,000 gold, something like that. If you want to hit max HP or max magical healing on everything. And then the more money that you're spending it on the movement speed on the boots, you're spending it on extra health, on everything that you can, more magical power on anything that you can. But you can get rid of all of that stuff and just hit your knowledge and spell casting thresholds, hit your magical healing thresholds, and that's all that's really required to play this at a higher level. The extra gold that you're spending is just gonna help you with like survivability, or help you with like damaging another player if you have to do melee combat, just stuff like that. So yeah, it sucks, but again, cleric, I think what's his name? What's his name? Todd Father. Todd Father is one of the best fighters in the game, and he always plays trios. He just released a released a trios tier list today, and cleric was the only character that he put in the please nerf tier. Everything else was below that, and it's because cleric is, I mean, he's the best healer in the game. I will say that there's a guy, if you're interested in healing with druid, there's a guy, I think his name is Kazarin, something like that. Yeah, this guy right here, go watch his content if you don't want to play cleric and you still realize that, hey, I need a healer on my team. He's been releasing some really good support healing druid builds. So he's got some really cool takes and some really cool builds on that. Cleric is a lot of fun and it's very strong. And if you don't have a cleric on your team, then don't take a bunch of poke damage. Like you have to play it a very certain way. Whereas cleric can, that team can all in on a fight. And this game is, you're going to experience third parties and everything's just going to turn to like chaos, or you're going to get pushed off your loot, or you guys are going to die when the third party comes in. Cleric can pop one sanctuary, reset his entire team, and now they can fight the third party. So that's one of the, not to mention res. I mean, resing on ruins right now is awful. So yeah, cleric is just one of the best characters in the game. And 10 spell cleric, I think people don't play enough. Okay, so that covers that. Next topic, we're going to be talking about line of sight. So good example of this is if you watch, if you go over to Pashi Pop's channel and watch some of his cleric videos, then you'll hear him say LOS frequently, and which is just a line of sight. So whenever he calls that out, he's just telling his frontliner or whoever it is that he needs to be healing that he does not have an angle to heal them. So he needs to reposition himself, or the frontliner needs to reposition themselves. This is a problem when you're playing frontline. You have your entire team behind you. So you can lose like the perspective of what they can and can't do in a situation. You don't want to be stepping in front of your ranger and get shot in the back of the head. And you don't want to step behind you know, a pillar or something in the middle of a fight, and then your cleric not have the ability to heal you because you're not in the line of sight. So that is just something to keep in mind. Uh, if you watch some of those Pashi Pop videos, they're very good at, even if you're a frontliner, I think you should be watching those. But it'll give you that perspective of what the cleric is seeing. So you need to play around your cleric to make sure that you're able to receive those heals. Footnote is if you are pushing their front line, what you can do if you're confident, you can step between their frontliner and their cleric and make it to where your body blocking heals so their cleric can't heal their frontline. There's a good chance that your cleric can't heal you either, but who knows, maybe you don't even have a cleric. So it might be a good idea for you to step between the cleric and their frontliner. They definitely win you a fight, but obviously it's risky too. So team compositions right now, one of the best team compositions in the game is going to be Cleric, Bard, Wizard. W key comp, it's busted. Wizard is Thanos whenever you put him in the best gear in the game. He just does absolutely absurd damage. I mean, you're landing like one direct fireball and it's doing 75% of like a backliner's HP. If there's a fighter who isn't stacking magic resist, then you're blowing them away too. It's absurd. So this comp is all about Cleric and Bard giving the Wizard a bunch of really good buffs. And then if the Wizard takes any damage from crossbows or from, you know, any range damage whatsoever, then you've got your Cleric there to heal. There's a really good combo with Cleric of Earthquake to keep a target still or to slow them down, and then Wizard just melts them. Bard can use Survival Bow, Crossbow, whatever. And then Cleric has a few range spells. But this comp is absolutely disgusting, and it might be the best comp in the game. So then you can do, I mean, Cleric Bard with Wizard, Cleric Bard with any frontlighter. So Fighter Barbarian is pretty disgusting. Podfather was saying that Barbarian is better in the meta right now than Fighter is. I can't really comment on that too much because I'm not playing high-end trios very much. I mostly just play duos. Yeah, this comp is disgusting. I would say that those two, I mean, those are pretty much your two main setups. I wouldn't deviate from that too much. You could also do like Cleric, Ranger, Wizard, something like that. That wouldn't be too bad. Of course, you're losing the buffs from Bard, which is a pretty big deal, but it's not terrible. You could also do Cleric, Wizard, or Cleric, Bard, something like that. So I mean, again, I think pretty much all of these are going to be suboptimal to those two main team comps right there. Yeah, and in this composition, one of these clerics is a support healer, and the other cleric is a frontliner. Since you have your spell that can give you, or your ability that can give you like 30% PDR, it's just pretty broken. Yeah. So I mean, that's pretty much it. Oh, there's one more thing that I wanted to talk about, which is normals. Can 10 spell cleric be played in normals? And the answer is yes, it can. Is it fantastic? I mean, yeah, actually it's pretty good, honestly. It's not going to be as good as, you know, anything with like the top end, but it's pretty nice. So let me take off all of this. Okay. Low boots. All right. So, with Cleric, base kit. If you, I definitely wouldn't play 10 spell unless if you do the quest to get all commons. But if you do that, then base kit, you're going to be hitting 30 knowledge. You'll be at 40% spell cast speed, which sucks. But what can you do about it? And you can have lesser heal, sanctuary, holy light, holy strike, and then I put this over here, divine strike. So that's your setup. These are the spells that you can take for normals with 10 spell. So basically what you're asking yourself is it worth for me to drop smite or divine protection or judgment? Is it worth for me to do that to run bless and divine strike? And then you can also add in like bind or something if you want to. And now all you need to do is just find 2 more knowledge in game and do that. Or you can just go, you can do something like this. Buy an owl pendant with additional memory capacity. Oh my god. Okay, well these used to be cheaper, but I guess people wised up to this. But if you find like an owl pendant with additional memory capacity, or you can do like a ring of wisdom with additional memory capacity, right there, there's 4 mem cap. So that's an option, and you can still play sub 25s to give you some of these other spells. So what you're asking yourself is it more important for me to drop, for me to bless and divine strike than it is for me to get a judgment off, or to do like whatever the fuck that spell is called, smite? And I would say often yes. You know, if you have a ranger on your team and you guys are at a long distance engagement, like on ruins and bridge room, then you can give your ranger 3 strength and give them +5 weapon damage, and that'll be way more impactful while this team is running across the bridge than whenever you get there if you judgment them one time. So this is actually pretty viable in normals, and I like it. I like it a lot. So yeah, I suppose that's about it. I appreciate you guys for watching as much as you have on my channel. I've gotten like 350 subscribers over, you know, like 10 or 12 videos, whatever it is. I've gotten thousands and thousands and thousands of views, and it's been awesome. I am going to be spending a little bit less time making dark and darker videos so I can focus on making other videos and just expanding my skill set in different ways. But I do really appreciate you guys and all the kind words that you guys have all had for me. So yeah, that's it. Good luck. May the force be with you.